5 seconds remaining.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the SkinCoin WCA event group stages. We got some Group B action coming at you today. And continuing coverage of this event. We've had a little bit of hiccups as far as the scheduling is concerned. Thus why we had no matches yesterday. We only got one best of 3 today, but looking forward to seeing how things kick off now in what is, again, the Group B portion. So I'm BreakyCPK, going to be joined by TraLFDota. You see the matchup that we got to kick it off. It is Effect versus MidOrFeed coming at you in this best of 3. Now, MidOrFeed, of course, the team also known as the Weehaw stack, whatever you want to call them there. Most recently had the roster change where Saksa announcing that he's stepping down from competitive Dota for the time being and thus being replaced by Cinderin very recently right here. And he's kind of stepped in not only as their new support player for the squad, but even their new captain as well. So really intrigued to see how that looks for them in one of the earlier matches now since they even made this change. So before we get too much into it, though, One quick announcement here on SkinCoin being the sponsor of this event. If you type !SkinCoin in chat, you can enter for the giveaway, as well as if you go to skincoin.org, it is the latest cryptocurrency in the esports market. We can trade it for your favorite Dota 2 and CSGO skins. Check it out for yourself, skincoin.org. Okay, draft is underway. Tralf, how you doing, man?
I am doing good, and I'm doing my late homework because I'm actually looking up MidOrFeed's games to see when they started playing with Cinder and when they didn't have Saksa, because I'm just curious to see how they're doing lately now with the new captain.
Yeah,
and it's always interesting to have a team switch their captain of all players. You know, it's kind of an interesting little thing that happened. But I'm excited to watch them just because I know a lot of the players on this team. Obviously, I know Keizu and Tomato. He plays a lot on the NA servers before he moved over to Europe. So that should be really interesting to me. I'm interested to see how they draft and just how they play in general.
Yeah, I don't know if you actually got any information on that, but I mean, Cinderin, I'm pretty sure he technically only joined the team like 3 or 4 days ago even. Like, it had to be pretty recent here. So this could even be one of their first games, if not very early.
Well, I see that they've had recent games against OG. They got 2-0'd by them. And that was with Cinderin. They got 2-0'd by Hellraisers on the 29th as well, and that was with Cinderin.
Okay.
Unless this is like bad information that I'm looking at. And it goes back to they had a 2-0 victory over Mouse Sports. And they had Cinderin for that as well. I'm looking at a game with Secret. Okay, it looks like they've had 3 series. And they won the first one but lost the last 2. So we'll see how they bounce back.
Yeah, taking on a team in Effect right here from the CIS region. Effect's kind of just one of those squads that they're a very good team. You know, some recognizable players, especially from the region on this squad, but have always kind of been under the wing of the likes of VP, you know, Empire, Vega Squadron, even Na'Vi, of course. So you got like those 4, and then maybe just the next tier from that. But still, I'm intrigued to see how they match up here, and obviously they got potential, no doubt. So it should be a good best of 3, I think. Only being the only one, I still think we're in for a treat here with the matchup. Now we got the picks. Let's start talking about that. We got a Venomancer Spearbreaker for MidOrFeed, Nature's Prophet, and Rubik on the other side coming out, and now we got the 3rd pick to happen for Effect. But what do you think of the development so far?
Well, Venomancer is always a strong first pick. It's so versatile. It can go off lane, it can go mid, it can go safe lane. And right now, in the terms of the patch is concerned, it seems to be that heroes that are versatile are picked often and early. You just don't want to leave your draft closed. You want to leave it open and give yourself options. And Venomancer just gives you all those options. Literally any lane it can be used in. It's interesting a little bit to see Spearbreaker picked up into Rubik. Usually Rubik is picked up after the Spearbreaker because of the way that you can just lift his charge and even take his own charge. Obviously, if you're an avid Spearbreaker player, you can just press your passive or your active as you're charging, and you can't steal your charge. But some people forget that. So
okay.
We'll see if that interaction comes into play this game. Some people do actually forget that. But ooh, I like this draft from Effect. I really like Mirana, and it's gonna be playing as a core.
That was snap pick too, and we've been seeing a little bit. We've been seeing a fair amount of mid Mirana, especially again FN, most noticeably from Empire.
Oh, he's a very good Mirana player.
5 seconds remaining.
coming up for effect here. And this is an all-range lineup. They also picked the Disruptor having the Rubik, so my guess would be they're going to run the Rubik in that 4 position instead with Disruptor in the 5. And they probably need their safe laner, depending on whether one want to run Nature's Prophet last here. But is it safe to say they probably still need that beefy front liner? I mean, they could also end with the Drow, though, right?
Yeah, they could. And Drow's really good against Spirit Breaker. Drow lineups, typically you want to like, kind of group up together and just push. And Spirit Breaker is not good against those types of lineups. Similar to like when Bounty Hunter was picked up a lot, the way that people would counter a Bounty Hunter lineup or any kind of roaming lineup is you stick together. There's no point in roaming around, or there's no way you can roam around on enemy heroes and gank them when they're all S5. It really just eliminates the strength of the hero. So yeah, they could go Drow. It's not your typical Drow lineup with Disruptor and Rubik. Those heroes don't really benefit from it that well. Maybe Disruptor a little bit, but it still would be strong. Yes, they have the Furion, they have the Mirana. Sven here picked up for MidOrFeed. But yeah, so they have 2 options, and I actually do expect the Drow to be banned up just because of how good it is with their 4 ranged heroes and how good it is against the Sven and the Spirit Breaker.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, if you're MidOrFeed, I think that's a very safe man, and I'm sure Cinderin at the very least that's heavy in his mind, and again, wouldn't be surprised to see that as their ban. But as far as the ban for effect, they're thinking MidOrFeed probably needs some kind of offlaner. I mean, it could potentially be a mid still with maybe like a Venomancer Spirit Breaker offlane together. I mean, we've definitely seen Venom in the offlane quite a bit as well.
And I think that's the usual consensus for teams is to throw a Venomancer in the offlane. Yeah, he might have a little bit of a difficult time, but he has the experience, talent at level 10. He'll always bounce back. And that's all he really needs is levels. He'll get his farm eventually. He just needs the levels. And yeah, effective telegraph that. They know that they probably want to pick their mid, and it's probably going to be a Veno offlane. The other thing, unfortunately, with Veno mid is his range is quite low. He's a little bit easy to gank as well, and he's very, very slow. His movement speed, I think, is 285 base, so it's not the greatest mid hero in the world. It's just a bit easier to throw him in the offlane.
Yeah. Of course, it's fun seeing this team named MidOrFeed. I actually think it's a pretty clever name for this team. This is one of those announcements when the roster shuffle was happening that this was one that caught people off guard for sure. You got
caught me off guard.
Oh yeah, everyone, especially when you got from Tomato, as you mentioned, moving from South America to Europe for this. But you also have 3 mid players really in Tomato, Weehaw, and Cancel, all coming together on the same team, as well as just overall being a very young team. So. They
do ban the Drow.
They do ban the Drow, yeah, not surprising there. But I haven't got to see them much, but I am excited that we get the chance to watch them here, again, with now Cinderin at the reins, taking over for the captain role. But Tomato, he does play the 1 position, though, for the team. Cancels, of course, their actual mid player. And then Weehaw takes over the 4 position, just to clarify.
Yeah, and it is interesting, as players try out different roles and try to, like, for instance, I mean, we were so accustomed to watch Arteezy mid for years, right?
Yeah.
I want to say like 2 years, and then all of a sudden he wants a safe lane, and you're kind of like just taken aback by a little bit. You're like, you were such a strong mid, why go safe lane? And then it took him some time to try to find his footing in the safe lane role or the 1 position role. It's kind of weird. Like that to me is like when I look at Tomato. I mean, he's like only a mid player, so it's interesting to see him play the safe lane. And what's his pool of heroes? Like, what's he comfortable with? I guess we'll find out in the coming months. So, Zeus pick up here to finish things off for MidOrFeed. I love Zeus. I absolutely love it. It's got a bad stigma because it's really hard to lane, and there's a lot of hard counters to him in lane. Like, Viper destroys him in lane. TA is a big, really kills Zeus in lane. Now, Mirana probably going mid. Zeus is actually quite good against Mirana, so that might be a reason why they wanted to pick the Zeus, and it will be a Lone Druid. I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder if they might think, hey, Lone Druid's a bit better against Zeus in mid. Let's throw him. And I don't know. Do you know who is their mid player here for effect, if it's Sadoy or Afoninje? I guess, again, I should have done my homework. I love that Rubik skin, by the way.
I casted them quite a bit, too, in they were actually in the previous round to this event, and you put it, I want to say it's Afoninje, as I pronounce it at least. I don't know if it's Afoninje or Afoninje, whatever, but I want to say he is their mid player, so I believe that means it's going to be a mid, Rana.
Yeah, it would make more sense with the draft. I'm just thinking Potom is Zeus is actually quite good against Potom. Potom doesn't have that much HP and can't really harass out a Zeus that well. But anyway, that as I was outlining, Zeus has got that stigma of not being so strong because his laning is so bad. But it really isn't as bad if you're well-versed in the hero. I mean, you can kind of spam out with your Chain Lightning, spam from Fog, spam from Uphill, and then collect some bottles. And once, with the addition of the bounty runes a long time ago, it's a bit easier to get those bottle charges. So
yeah,
I'm really excited to see the Zeus pick up and see how it works out here for MidOrFeed.
Yeah, the theme of this tournament has been continuing TraLF, where at the very least we're getting some fun pickups. These teams are not afraid to try some different things. As developed as we are in this meta right now with the patch and how we really haven't had anything for the longest time, that's almost is surprising. But they're willing to try different things, and Zeus is kind of one of those heroes that, again, we don't get to see all the time. But I too, and I know many people out there are excited for that. One quick thing on Zeus, though, too, is the idea of an Ags, would you say is a core item on him, or is that maybe like
core?
Okay, it is core.
Core. And at least in my opinion, when I see people not build a core, I'm like, I kind of like cringe a bit. I'm like, ugh. Now, it doesn't mean it can't work if you don't go Ags. It's just, I feel like that Nimbus provides so much, especially in supplement with your level 20 talent, the plus 0.5 second lightning bolt stun. I mean, that goes with your Nimbus, so you can stun lock people that have, for instance, Lincolns, or that really need to rely on their BKB. So it's just such a good way to supplement your build with the rest of your items and your skill build. Very, very strong build. And whether he rushes it or not is really kind of a player preference thing, and maybe a draft thing. Like if he's maybe, for instance, if I'm having a really bad game on Zeus, I might just straight up rush Ags because I need to have a little bit stronger of a presence in team fights. Where if I'm having a really good game, I might go for something like an Aether Lens into, I don't know, a Yules or Plink to just be a lot more aggressive. So it kind of depends on how the game is going and what heroes you're playing against.
Yeah, that was kind of funny how literally Spirit Breaker got spotted by Lone Druid, and then he paused the game. Yeah, so he did. It's going for the bounty rune right here. So suggesting it is lag. We'll trust that. But I assume We is actually going to be able to take this right here. He even has a Venomancer coming over. And, yeah, they're going to steal this rune. You see at the top rune, though, it is being taken by Nature's Prophet and Rubik. As Cinderen's just hugging the trees and Sven just sitting back for the creep block. So we've talked a bit about Zeus already for good reason. But Lone Druid I want to go back to as well. Again, being the final pick for Effect right here. Sidoi playing it. And it looks to be the safe lane Lone Druid. I've been seeing a couple of ranged Lone Druids recently. In a couple of casts that I've had here where he's been in the game, I want to say 3 of the last 4 even have actually been the ranged Lone Druid build. Almost kind of making a comeback here. Is there either way you're leaning towards this game, or?
I don't think Radiance is as strong this game. Radiance doesn't really do that much against the Venomancer. So I was trying to check if the Lone Druid could steal that bounty rune there with his bear, but it doesn't really do that much against Venomancer. It's not that great against Zeus as well. I do expect him to go to the range form, and I think it's simply because the Mask of Madness has just had a surge of popularity in the last couple of months, and if you remember back when he was really popular in range form, I want to say 6 months ago or so, people were not building Mask of Madness. They were building around the talents of Lone Druid, which was like, the respawn timer, the extended range, and your auto attack. And that's how they built him. But now that Mask of Madness is so popular, and it'd be interesting to think of if people were building it back then, how strong range Lone Druid would have been back then even. They're just realizing how good that item is and how it works with the hero. So yeah, I do expect it to be a ranged Lone Druid game.
All right. We'll see how he performs here. Again, he's in the safe lane against the Venomancer as Disruptor supporting, but Venomancer for the time being, he will have Spear Breaker making his way down here at least. And going to come and make it that aggressive lane. As you talked about, though, in the draft, I mean, Venomancer, a hero that you can, by all means, put in the off lane, maybe not necessarily get the best start, but especially get that level 10 talent. The 30% XP gain allows him to recover in a lot of games, as well as his jungling presence on top of that. So I'm sure he's still bound to have a decent time. Top lane. Ooh, seemed like they might have been going in there a little bit, but nope, just Max saying hello with the treants from behind and forcing Cinderin back. But Rubik's kind of taking over the farm while almost playing opposite roles right here. he's just propping the one harassing.
Almost had that.
Rubik's actually farming, but a pretty aggressive dual lane themselves on the Radiant side and trying to address Sven at least a little bit. But I was going to wonder, I mean, does Rubik need to stay up here, you think? Should he still be up here, or should he maybe go elsewhere?
He could move around. It just depends on where he feels like the lanes are pushed and where he can get. There is a charge on mid. I don't expect him to get this kill. He's going to be charging in Vision, and Potom has a leap as well. Not a lot of damage yet onto Zeus. Zeus did go for 2 points in Arc Lightning, which is the standard build so far. We take it to damage from the tower, though.
Okay.
And but there is a health pot onto Aponenche. There is a lift into Arrow. Nicely done, and it looks like it's going to be a kill here. First blood on Spearbreaker. He has a charge in 1 second, but the double Starstorm does get the kill. So feeds off a free one here to Aponenche. Aponenche has 5 stick charges and a health potion. He should be fine as well after that. And another kill I missed, unfortunately, but it's bottom. So just auto attacks. And oh, it looks like Mag did port down there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't even know how much necessary he was, to be able to be honest. Just the kinetic field simply in the Thunderstrike and then Lone Druid putting in the bear on top of him with the auto attack. So then a Mag came in at the last second to at least help finish the job on Akezu. But yeah, that mid lane, though, Spearbreaker, you mentioned it was clearly not going to be a kill. The fact that they even went in that deep was just mind-boggling, and then that backfired for him. Of course, as Rubik rotated. So that's a pretty big start, actually, for Effect, and, you know, trying to take Spearbreaker out of the game early on at least. So, and you also have the middle matchup, Miranda 16-3 against Zeus that's 19-0. So F9, even though it felt that little bit of pressure, obviously he's doing just fine when it comes to last hitting here.
It's always weird to me. There is another charge actually on mid. Again, I don't think they get this kill. He has leap, and yeah, it's just kind of keeping him honest.
Go too far.
Keeping him honest. But yeah, I mean, Zeus is doing fine. He's getting the CS. He's bottle crowing a little bit here and there. He's got his boots now, a bit faster. And another charge. Like his leap is on cooldown, but he's got 7 sick charges. Again, he shouldn't die. But we'll see. He's taking a little bit of damage. He actually might.
Oh.
Getting a little low there. Getting a little scared. But again, if you know how Zeus's build, you know they don't have max points in Lightning Bolt early on. They need that extra point in Arc Lightning to really spam it out. That's just the safest way to play mid. So.
Okay. So feeling pretty comfortable. Does he? You think Mirana? Is it safe to say she might just look to pick up a raindrop early on, or?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Rubik, by the way. He
nice.
Is dead. Spearbreaker gets out on top of that. Yeah, kind of caught that as it was like developing really, and eventually saw the final hit. Max trying to get the turn kill on Cinderin. He has that over Venom actually, but in comes the war cry from Sven. He turns around the Stormhammer. He wants a turn kill, damn it. Puts the Arcane's Curse up. We with the first hit bash to top it all off. And again, that Orb of Venom, they do finish the job. King R comes in, but just a little bit too late to support. So nice turn from MidOrFeed right here, and they tied up at 2 apiece.
Yep, nicely done for them. And once this Zeus hits 6 too, it's going to be a lot easier to gank in the other lanes. He's very, very close. Just needs about another wave or so, and he'll have it. He's going, it looks like, for the Arcane Boots first, which is standard for Zeus. Wants that mana. Spamming in mid just a little bit. There is a smoke king wrapping around the Zeus, but it's going to be spotted out from the TPing Spearbreaker back to base. Here comes a Furion. TPing back, cancel. He's all in. He's trying to get something. He has level 6, but no ulti just yet, so it looks like he will fall.
Yeah. He's not getting away from that. If anything, it was I want to turn kill on F9, but obviously not the case. As you mentioned, just a little bit too little mana at that point. So good collapse. I mean, that's a 4-man rotation, but a kill on the mid-hero Zeus, keeping him in check, if anything. And Sadoy continues to free farm at the bottom lane. And sure enough, you do see the Mask of Man is queued up, as you're getting at right there. The Ring of Aquila already finished for him as well. So nice progress for Effect. We again charging? No, he stops that one there. It's going to come a lot on Tomato here as far as Sven farming at the top lane. Get those stacks going. I'm sure they are. Oh, yeah, a pretty massive stack here already.
The seeds
of
camp. And outside of the Lone Druid, it's actually a pretty good Sven game. Oh, Sadoy, I missed that one. Maybe got a lucky root or something.
I'm not sure, yeah. It looks like it was on cooldown, though, as I clicked on it, so. Comes into play, clearly, but they get Kezu. And was that Thunder God's Wrath? No, I thought that might have been used there. Never mind. In response, almost, but not the case. He does still have it, so
yeah,
still waiting for that opportunity.
Doesn't have the biggest mana pool. He's actually going to go to buy his Arcanes right now. There is a charge on the Sadoy. He does have his Roar as well, which he might use on Kezu and then maybe TP. roar on Keizu and then TP up. He roared the other guy instead. But it's kind of awkward. If you roar Keizu, then you have the chance of being bashed while you TP. But nonetheless, he probably was going to die there, but it was a bit of an interesting play. Yeah. Ulti does come out from Zeus. Doesn't get the kill, unfortunately. And you really want that kill. You really want just any extra experience and gold that you can for Zeus.
So... Really?
Doesn't farm the quick.
Well, I was going to say, because usually we talk about that a bit where, like, Zeus is in pub games, we'll just save it for kill stealing. But in that case, he used it pretty much right at the beginning to set up the kill. But you think it would have been smarter to save it as well. Hold on, thought, because Cancel actually might be in trouble here. The arrow comes out on top of the Sprout, and no chance for him. Spirit Breaker just gets here way too late. Not that he could have done anything with the, once again, great rotation from Mag here on the Nature's Prophet. But, yeah, back to the point there on Zeus.
They're really roaming him hard. It depends. In some situations, usually later on, you want to use it very early because you need to have the vision of enemy heroes. It helps you play out the team fights. Well, there is a charge on the Rubik. He can't actually lift. Nice arrow there from Potom. A nice little bash there from Wii as he skirts on out of there. But the double Star Storm will get the kill onto Cinder. And a glimpse back onto the Zeus. He goes back to base, unfortunately. He's not able to help out in this fight. Kinetic Field is down. Weehaw will fall as well. Really nice glimpse play there by RZQQ. I hope that's his name.
I go with RZeek.
RZeek.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. Yeah, really nice glimpse play there. Something you got to be careful for when you're TPing into a disruptor like that. But again, after that crazy engagement, to answer your question, later on in the game, you usually do want to Zeus ult early, just so you can A, see the heroes, and B, cancel enemy blinks. That's really, really important, like Earthshaker or Bat Rider or what have you. In this case, there's not going to be enemy blinks, but you just need to see the heroes. But early on, I would say it's totally fine to kill steal. You just need the extra gold. Zeus doesn't farm very fast. Okay. If you go into the jungle and start spamming Chain Lightning, it just doesn't kill creeps fast enough.
Well, he's going to pop a Shrine with the team right here. You do see the massive Ancient stack next to them, but of course that's for Sven, and Sven does not have the... Okay, he has it delivered here. There we go. So now he has the Mask of Madness. Are they going to look through this or want to stack it one more time? They got it? Yeah, they did. No, nope. They did not.
And Zeus actually needs to help because those Prowlers will destroy Sven. Yeah, okay, there he goes. He's helping out a bit. Never mind. Sven destroys him. I'm Furion is TPing aggressive and then TP's out.
Yeah, that was
nice. Get some nice vision though, but I don't agree with Cancel's build here. I really don't. I don't think you need more than 2 points of Arc Lightning early on. The damage you get from Lightning Bolt being leveled up is way, 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 way higher than leveling up Arc Lightning. You get 30 extra damage. Now, it is nice from 3 to 4. It jumps from 85, 100, it goes up by 15, then it goes up by 30 from rank 3 to 4. But, I mean, the damage from Lightning Bolt is just, you can't pass it up. It's,
top lane?
Yeah, dude, do not agree with that.
Nature's Prophet, he's probably going to be fine. Moonlight Shadows will save the day, and even the TP support coming in. To maybe give some line of logic here, I guess, for Cancel in his defense. Is it perhaps something to do with the Nature's Prophet where... Oh, that's a kill, by the way. Who did they get? They got Mag at the top lane. Sure enough, they turn it on to Silencer, so I didn't realize actually what's still going to happen up here at the top lane, and sure enough, it does. Ends up being a 1-for-1 on top of that. They also got Spirit Breaker. But going back to the point there that, you know, dealing with the tree and minions, like, because it's just a way to spam those out. But I guess by the time, though, that's really an issue, you would have both maxed out anyways, so maybe that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I just think having more pressure with more damage in team fights is a bit stronger, but maybe his mode of thinking is I'm just not going to join team fights and only kill, you know, only use my ulti. That's the only thing I can think of, but it's not like it's not like you spam out waves that much faster. It's pretty much at the same rate. So yeah. Anyway, it's not the hugest deal in the world, but it does matter a little bit. And he does pick up one more point. He's gonna have that max in another level anyway.
At this point,
although he might. And usually people get the plus 25 movement speed, just so you have a little bit more mobility on Zeus. It's very rare that I see people get mana regen. You usually build lots of mana items anyway. And he is going for a 4-staff first, so it's not going to be an Ag's Rush. Nothing wrong with 4-staff. He's getting sprouted by Furion a lot. Doesn't want that to happen. Wants to get away from heroes, so I've no issue with that.
Well, another God Strength ready, and that means Tomato, it's time to do another Ancient stack. Goes to the right side, a little bit of help from Cancel, but overall, Tomato getting the majority of that. Of course, the top first-tier tower is pushed in, but right now, 11.5 minutes in, Sven is leading the chart, but I gotta say, look at Mirana, man. 5,600, pretty close to the Sven, actually, considering that he's done all these stacks right here. So this Aphanine on the Mirana is doing very well. I already has a Yasha and a Manta style well in the works on top of that. So it seems like Diffusal is also going to be pretty good value this game. I would think as that's a possible follow-up to the Manta.
Yeah, absolutely. Diffusal. I would say probably even before that, the Lincoln Sphere, just so you can make sure that the Spear Breaker doesn't charge you. Very, very important. It's also just core item in general into bottom. Speaking of, gets an arrow onto Weehaw. Nice ulti there for Mag, and then a disruptor ulti onto Zeus as well. They're just really playing well. They're communicating well together. They're getting more than just that one kill onto enemy heroes, and they're translating that into a push on top of that. Yeah. And yeah, really nice play here from Team Effect.
Getting caught on Zeus there, trying to help out nearby. Now Syndra, and you look at the Radiant, or the Dire Jungle more so, just taken over by the Radiant. It's going to continue as Syndra glimpsed back just a little bit closer to get the finishing touches onto him. So Lone Druid, he does go the attack range, obviously with the Mask of Madness, as we mentioned earlier, so you were right there. That's clearly the call from Sidoi. Playing the Lone Druid, and Echo Saber finish on the other side for Sven, though, and now the Blink is queued up for Tomato. So, as usual with the Blink Dagger, that's going to be an absolute key item for MidOrFeed right here to start making some plays, because without that, they really don't have much, if any, initiation. And Venomancer does finish the Veil of Discord, though, so that's an also nice damage amp for the team.
Yeah, it's really good with Zeus. Oh, there is a global. They really kill the Disruptor. They get an ulti on Rubik as well. He does have Lift, and he does have Plague Words to maybe slow them down and keep him at bay just a little bit. Steals the Nether Strike, a very useless ability, unfortunately. Can maybe use it to get away. No, he actually uses it to kill himself as he jumps back in. The bear might be falling. Arrow coming in. It will not hit any of these heroes. Tomato trying to still rush that bear, get some extra gold. Sprout coming in, trying to save himself. Maggie will fall. So nice little engagement here for Team MidOrFeed as Weehaw being blocked by some Treants. Ninja doing some damage, gets a double Starstorm yet again, and he actually gets a wicked sick kill with that kill onto Weehaw, so it kind of evens itself out there at the end. But yeah, nice to see Tomato get a little bit aggressive here, even without the blink. He needs to help his team out here since he is the most farmed hero on the map.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of the net worth that he has for sure. I mean, 630 gold saved up, so he's working towards that, but right now, Effect kind of continuing to roll with the momentum. Although that fight, as you mentioned, definitely not that bad for MidOrFeed. But they probably are going to be losing bottom tower right here, pending them choose to defend it. They are going to use fortification, and they do come in actually. So never mind.
There's an invis on Zeus coming in, so this is a really good fight for MidOrFeed. As Weehaw, unfortunately, uses his charge right there, so he has it on cooldown. Gets glimpsed as well. Cancel on the back lines. Here we go.
Static Storm is ready. We'll wait for that to perhaps come out. He did not come out with a kinetic field. That Nether Strike eventually gets killed. There is that Static Storm, but again, no kinetic field. However, it's hitting Venomancer for the time being. It's doing a little bit of damage for him. Thunder Strike's put up. I think KZU is going to be able to survive through it, though. The arrow's coming out. Oh, it's going to miss, though. And Venomancer will survive. Only the one death on Spear Breaker after all of that. Zeus did not have the Thundergod's Wrath up. He has it up now, but Disruptor goes down to Tomato. And not necessary to use in the midst of that fight anyway, so they pop a shrine together, and back to farm goes the Sven. So that's actually, again, a decent hold from the Dire side. They did lose. Oh, no, they even kept the tower well alive, should say right there. So overall, pretty damn good fight even for them, it feels like.
Yeah, I missed the tail end of that as I DC'd a little bit there. But Ninja, he's looking for maybe a kill on to cancel here. He is invis. And King R, global coming out. Doesn't matter, the auto attacks are coming out aplenty. Bottom will get another kill. The damage on this bottom is just insane right now. So early Yasha, lots of attack speed, gets that extra agility from his talent tree. Having a great game.
Yeah, you saw the return damage from Zeus. Shows the potential that he can do with a Wrath and Lightning Bolt combo, but still not enough. That's only a level 1 Wrath as well. He actually is just close to level 2. Almost there. So, even more damage from said ultimate. 100 more to be exact as far as magic damage goes, as we see right there. But KZU is going to try to protect this bottom tower. I mentioned last time it might have fallen. It definitely did not. And this time it's going to be the same story for now. They're going to hold it off. Obviously, Venomancer, he's good at that. Spamming those Plague Wards for the time being. Rubik checking it out nearby. Zeus is here. No ulti, though, of course. And they are gonna scare them off again. So buying more time for the Sven even, who now has the blink being delivered, by the way.
Yep.
top.
Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
There you go. Smoke as well? No. Okay. He's just swapping stuff around right there.
Yeah.
But
Interesting that he's holding the smoke. He does, I think, need to keep that Quelling Blade in his inventory, maybe instead of the Poor Man's Shield, just so he can get out of Sprouts. Very, very good counter to Sven, and that's the annoying thing playing Sven against Furion is you pretty much need that in your backpack all the time, unless you're like really, really need all 6 items.
yeah.
But so I'm interested to see why he hasn't swapped that out just yet. But there's a Spear Breaker charge onto, I heard it. It's all the way down on the top, opposite side of the map. It's Sidoi.
Well, Casey getting pulled back in with the Static Storm Kinetic Field combo, so he's definitely dead. I don't think that charge is going to come nearly close enough. Trying to save him. Yeah, he ends up canceling it and turning it around, of course. So good find on it, Casey, though. Power of Disruptor, the glimpse back, and that Static Storm combo. But now with that down, you look at the smoke gank here from MidOrFeed. Don't have Venomancer, but they still feel like they have a good chance. Remember that Blink just picked up on Sven, and Thundergod's Wrath is ready, level 2. Going towards the bottom, but they just all retreat. Nobody's down here anymore.
They must have seen it or sensed it or something because they all just immediately ran away. They're using Pot multi. Maybe they go in for Roshan, but maybe that was just lucky and like a coincidence for them. The ulti comes out from Zeus. It doesn't do any damage, but they do spot out that they are... actually, they weren't smoked. Sorry, they were Pot ulted, so you know where they are. But here comes a charge. It is onto Sidoi. He can always use the bear after he gets charged to stop the plays of Spearbreaker from using his ultimate. So that's one thing you have to worry about. I don't agree with Spearbreaker's skill build either. There's no reason to not have empowering haste against a Rubik. That means every single time he goes in, that Rubik will steal his charge if he wants to. So there's no point at all in not having empowering.
Oh no, Tomato, he's caught right here. That's Compa Disruptor. He got glimpsed back trying to TP away, and now Sven's going to die because of this. He was just simply trying to blink and then go for a TP, but Disruptor had found him with a kinetic field scout out right there. And then the glimpse of stop and then the eventual turnaround as they take him out for his first death of the game even. That's a huge kill for effect.
Yeah, and you can tell that MidOrFeed really wants to fight. Like they smoke inked. They didn't get much. I mean, they got a tower, but they need to get kills. They want to use this fence farm. They want to use this global as well. And Venomancer now has level 2 ulti with the Veil. They can definitely take team fights. They just need to catch them. They need to find a way to start it. And Effect is not letting them have that. They're spreading out nicely. They're backing when they're trying to initiate, and they're playing around them. And look at that. You see that. He steals his spell. Now he gets a level 4 charge.
Yeah.
And that should never happen.
That's a fair point. It's kind of, interesting how you're just talking about that, and sure enough. Rubik gives an example as he picks up on that. So, as a charge now, we'll see if he's able to make that come into play. Marana, the main style finished, is going to go the BKB next. So, you mentioned the Lincolns, talked about the Diffusal even, but likes the BKB choice here.
It's obviously great, right? Zeus is all magic damage, and I mean, so is Venomancer for that matter. So, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think that Lincoln's is really nice to have that peace of mind knowing that Spearbreaker can never charge you, right?
The seeds of
If Lincoln stopped the global ultimates, maybe.
Oh, jeez.
Classic.
Now that would be...
No, does not work in this game, no. Charge bottom lane?
Charge the bottom, yeah.
No. He's like, I want to, but then I don't. I don't think... Marana may not have seen him, actually. He turned around at the last second. There we go. Another strike comes in, and Zeus runs in as well. The nuke's coming out. The offensive urn put up. Thundergod's Wrath even activated for this. Global Science, they really want this kill. They may not get it, though. Oh, no.
That is a lot. That is so much expended for a pot.
And top lane.
Global.
And top lane, too, Sven. Oh, at least he blinked away before the combo. Can he TP out? Any stopper? They got a glimpse. They bring him right back, and now Sven, he has to man fight. He pops the God Strength. He's going for the stun, but Sidoi's a little bit too far away. Finally catches up, but no, the Yules throws him up in the air. Stalls the damage. The Sprout, the kinetic field. He can't even freaking move his hero. And Sidoi gets credit for the kill. And not only do they miss out on Marana, but they lose Sven again. Huge for effect.
You know, we've been seeing this trend of Rubik's rush the Yules rather than the Blink. It's the second time I've seen it now, and I gotta say I'm kind of a fan. Like when I first saw it, when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I don't know why you wouldn't just rush Blink, but it seems to be doing work. It also gives him a lot of like base mana regen, a good mana pool, and he's very, very fast as well. So I'm actually really digging this Yule's Rush here on the 4-position Rubik.
It's a feel-good item, honestly. Like, especially on a support hero, if you can manage to get it, it's a great saving tool. You know, nice purge on things like the silence, of course, and just also a decent catcher and a TP stopper on top of that. So yeah, it really is just kind of a feel-good. It's a little more expensive maybe than you like, but at the same time, it's especially for he is a 4-position support in this case. So ideally getting even more farm than the 5-position would be. But that's a Roshan kill, as we really probably expected, especially with what just happened right there. So they have their biggest lead now. 7,000 net worth lead. The Aegis picked up by Mirana there. And the BKB is so close to finish. I was going to say, especially after what we saw in that last fight, I mean, BKB feels necessary on Sven, and he is going for that next.
Yeah, it is a little annoying that you kind of have to build a BKB just because you're getting glimpsed all the time. I mean, this glimpse is killing his hero, but it is necessary at the same time. Now, Zeus, he's not going for an Axe just yet either. It looks like he has Yule's queued up first, which I really think at this stage of the game, because you're down, I think he needs that extra spell. He needs another spell in these fights. They do have Veil, so it works really nicely with Zeus. And that's one thing I was going to say is Veil is such a great item on Zeus, but it always feels nice when someone else builds it, because you don't really, I mean, yes, you give it for the stats, it's nice, but for Zeus in particular, you get it for the weakness. And so it's nice if someone else can spend their gold for that when you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, Zeus, again, still has that Eels queued up for now. Maybe something will change that mind as he moves along here. So far, not necessarily committed. But picked up the Aether Lens. With that range, there's a Thunder God's Wrath used as simply scouting. That's something else that you'll see as Zeus do more and more as the game picks up. Becomes a tool more for scouting than anything. Especially against this Mirana lineup, to be fair. And you just never really know where they may be. So understandable why they're using it that way, but means the fight breaks out.
Charge bottom. They're also using it seems, to maybe find some kind of charge, but the only problem with that is it's like, if Zeus ults, the initial instinct you have as an enemy team is to be like, what are they doing? And you're a little scared for just a split second, so the charge is kind of like, jig is up. But, yeah, we really haven't been able to see Spirit Breaker come into play too much. I mean, I talked about how the best way to play against Spirit Breaker is to kind of group up. It's not even that Effector really necessarily grouping up and just pushing us 5, but they're just not able to get really much anything done with the Spirit Breaker, unfortunately. Now, BKB is really the next step here for Effect. And again, or not Effect, but MidOrFeed. They want to fight. It's just a matter of finding those fights. Rubik, though, has the Plague Ward stolen, and actually almost has his Blink as well, so he is very farmed. I mean, he's only, what, 600 net worth off of the mid hero for MidOrFeed, so he's got a lot of farm.
Yeah, and he does. It's a mix of that, and to be fair, cancel move not the most, but Venomancer, he got arrowed up right here. He gets 4-staffed in. The Global Silence comes out of response, but the BKB's popped, and they get the kill indeed on Venomancer. Down the back lines, Rubik was picked up, I'm guessing by the God Strength Sven, as he just jumped in right there. So it ends up being the 1-for-1, but obviously with who was exchanged for, Effect is liking that, and even going to glimpse back the Silencer, but not really do much. Sven's like, hey, you want to fight? Let's go. Jumps in. Can't really fight anyone, though. So I'm just kind of toying with them.
Yeah, still has the BKB available, but that God Strength is down, so his damage is pretty bad. But definitely an exchange Effector willing to take. That's a pretty farmed offlaner for, I guess, a pretty farmed 4 position, so maybe not.
That's true, actually, as we're just talking about.
That was an interesting 4-staff, though. I mean, Keizu was stunned, and he was facing the enemy team, and Zeus forced him in. Anyway, here we go. Kinetic Field, Static Storm down, but he will fall. So, nice pickup here for Tomato, as they need anything they can get.
Yeah, that's important to bring up. I mean, they used a lot right there, but as you mentioned, he did not use the BKB, so he still sits on the 10 seconds, still good to go here if it's found necessary, and he's going to stun up. He stuns up the creep wave, actually, right next to the Rubik right there, just to make sure, and Rubik, though, keeps on running. Offensive Rend is put up. The arrow's going to miss. Mag TP's in, and now we see perhaps a turn coming out from Effect. At least that's what they're going for. F9. She does have that the Aegis still on Mirana, but doesn't want to chase too far. You still have Lone Druids pushing out bottom lane, who just finished that Mjolnir. Actually, we really haven't been focusing too much on the Lone Druid this game, honestly, but ever since the Mask of Madness, a Dragonlance into a full Mjolnir now. And now he has his own BKB even queued up. But yeah, these cores here on Effect are all doing very well. You see, of course, they're number 2, 3, and 4 on that net worth charts even. So, and they're all this range kind of kitey damage, which is obviously great to have against a Sven.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a really good point. Which is why we haven't been... I mean, he's doing very well on his team. And if you look at the rest of the team, they don't have great scores, and he's 5-2-0, and I know scores don't mean everything, but here we go. There is a bolt onto a ward, so they do have vision of this ward on the hill. Arrow comes out, and as we hear, Aegis is out as well, so Disruptor ulti might be kind of wasted here, unfortunately, and they will get a freebie here on a Disruptor. And the Aegis being down, okay, with Global up, this could be an opportunity for them to pick a fight.
Yeah, that was a good time to jump there if you're MidOrFeed, of course, because the Aegis just despawning, as we heard, and figured could capitalize on it, and sure enough did as they found Disruptor. So the Chrysalis now finished on Sven. Zeus does continue to be pretty under-farmed here, but he has 2,100 gold saved up, and kind of goes back to he hasn't committed towards anything just yet. So I do wonder if they're doing the thought process here of like how the game's feeling, and maybe he will try to just get that axe next in line right here. But for now, just going to sit on the gold. We'll see what that ends up being. Venomancer, what did he go next? Okay, so he's got the blink. He's going for the dive bomb build. He's going for the I'm going to jump in and pop Poison Nova with the axe get up next for him even.
And I like that. I think it works especially best with the Zeus on your team. You run in there, drain their HP, and then have Zeus or Sven try to clean it up. So nothing wrong with that build.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of the whole Hurricane Pike, Mjolnirs even, coming out from these Venomancers. But yeah, this game, as you're pointing out, it feels like this is the right build, considering how it's going and what they're going up against. Sven, well, he has a double damage rune and they're smoked up. Again, a chance for MidOrFeed to make a play, but as we see on the minimap, don't know if they're going to get that play that they're hoping for here. As they're not going to find anyone for the time being unless they try to defend it now. But they're pushing tier 2 themselves at the bottom, so both sides are kind of trying to do the same thing here. As they're trying to bait it out, but I don't know if that's going to work. This is
just better for Effect. Effect just the team fight, even though they're down 9k, the team fight from MidOrFeed is very, very strong. I mean, Zeus, Venomancer, Silencer, a very, very fat Sven. They want to be picking fights, but Effect are doing a great job of splitting the map and just kind of dodging them. And again, even though they're down 10k, they want to be fighting. They need to use these spells and these big ultimates.
Diffusal just purchased by Mirana, so it's not on her yet, of course, in the stash currently, but has that now. As they're not going to go all the way to tier 3, though. They do a little bit of pressure, they get some response, and they will fall back and kind of reset some things here now. But you mentioned that item earlier, how it seems like it's going to be good value on her. Just a couple of reasons. Just the mana burn in general is going to be nice, the damage input that it does, but purging that War Cry especially is a very, very valuable option to have from it. So a lot of good reasons. Nature's Prophet top lane, by the way. Charge coming in. Is this enough? There's that dive bomb, and sure enough, that's a pretty quick kill, especially when you throw in the Thunder God's Wrath from Zeus right there. So that's the ideal combo coming out from MidOrFeed. That's that kind of global presence that they do have.
Don't think you really need to use Veno ulti there, but I guess they're just trying to take whatever they can get, and just like that, it's diminished to about an 8k lead for them. And again, you know, it looks bad on paper, but MidOrFeed are in a fine spot. Their team fight is just significantly stronger than Effect's. Now, Rubik and Disruptor obviously have their place in team fights, but when they're ulted by Silencer, they do absolutely nothing. Now, yeah, you can Yules off the global and kind of purge that silence, but it takes some time and it's a little bit awkward. It can be bad because you're just kind of sitting there and maybe the enemy team is like right in front of you and they're waiting to kill you right when you come down. So it's a bit of an awkward play, but it kind of needs to be done. Yeah. And the point being, though, that is MidOrFeed are actually in a fine spot.
Gold for me.
How does it work with Rubik? With, I guess, because I noticed he's going for Axe as well. We do have a little bit over here happening. Disruptor.
Interesting play here. I don't know about the charge. There's only 2 heroes.
Yep.
They charge onto the enemy side of the base. I don't know why you would global for a Spear Breaker that has no damage.
They seem so antsy to just use everything as soon as they see some target. You mentioned at the top of it, the Poison Nova wasn't really necessary, but
that was not a bad play. That was just like kind of a weird decision to use the ultimate. That was just straight up a bad play. I mean, I don't know why we were thinking, first of all, that would work. Second of all, why would we need to use the global on that? So very, very questionable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they thought that, maybe they're in the mode of thinking of we just need to get kills and get out. And he's thinking, okay, we'll just get this kill with Spirit Breaker and then global and get out. But it's just, even if that happened, that's certainly not worth it. A global for a support hero.
As we saw, and if support was nearby, which in that case it was, the turn's ready and they make it happen. So the Axe is now finished on Venomancer at least. So a little more firepower from the Poison Nova in this case. So I was talking about, though, with the Nimbus Cloud of Zeus, once he does have the Axe, which, by the way, he is going for it now indeed.
Good.
Yeah, you like that there. Rubik, though, he can just steal that, right, if he happens to catch Zeus using it. Like,
that's true.
The Axe himself doesn't really matter for that purpose.
Yeah. He can definitely steal it. I've never actually seen it happen. Not to say that it's difficult to steal, but I mean, the problem with Zeus is he's usually spamming out either Chain or Lightning Bolt so frequently that it's difficult to actually get that ultimate or Nimbus Cloud. Yeah. Not to say he can't. It's just a little bit more difficult. Oh, smoke will be popped. Weehaw.
You know,
no intentions to run away as he does die here for the lift. Alpha Ninja, he goes up to 12-0. And very, very easy pick off here for them. There is a Furion port behind enemy lines onto Keizu, who 4-staffs away. Does get Orchided and Sprouted. And I think he will fall before getting his ultimate off. There is no global silence, keep in mind, as Sven backs away. BKB popped from the pod and the glimpse back onto Cinder, and that's going to be 3 now. 3 for nothing exchange here in favor of Effect. Again, that goes back to not having global.
Yeah, I'm not having the global science, and it wasn't the greatest deck Stormus. Whoa, what was that? That was, oh, the poison actually ticked down Nature's Prophet as he was trying to survive, but it just simply couldn't. So he goes down, at least a response kill there for MidOrFeed, but you can just tell, again, the case of, not that they were necessarily trying to save one another, but they just, it looked like it was initially going to be a great escape, but the Nature's Prophet porting completely caught them, and then it started to trickle in one by one. Now, Zeus and Sven are still up, and Spirit Breaker are going to be ready to charge in, so this isn't 100% a free Roshan by any means, and it's definitely not going to be. So now, if you're the dire side, obviously careful about overcommitting into it, but they're going to keep him from doing.
There is global in 1 second. He's now respawned. Charge coming in, actually, onto Sadoy. A lift as well. He steals. Okay, now he steals the Empowering House Ace, and that's good for him. Global coming out, but maybe a little bit too late.
Roshan's still well alive, man. Look at Wee's just sitting here with that Shadow even there right now. Sven jumps in with the huge cleave, takes out Lundred, takes out Disruptor, and now it's time to take out Roshan, he says, as it's going to beat him down, and sure enough, steal the Aegis. Cancel will pick it up. Cheese is picked up by Cancel as well, actually, on the Zeus. Oh, you just saw as soon as he jumped. That's where all of a sudden it goes well in favor of MidOrFeed's favor. That Daedalus finished. And that showed off in that last fight, and they may look for more kills here. In fact, you mentioned Mirana still has not died this game. She could be in some trouble. She keeps going. She's going for the TP. Keizu was caught off to the side, kind of by Rubik, but more so now Rubik's the one in trouble. As, yeah, he's going to be turned. So Mirana will actually get out, but another kill, and MidOrFeed gets a quick response, not only stealing the Roshan, but even more kills on top of that. And after what just happened right there, you kind of do feel like MidOrFeed maybe has something going finally.
I swear to God, Breaky, it seems like every game we've cast together, there's been like a huge lead, 10K, 12K, and it's been completely swayed around Roshan. Yep. Like every single game we've cast has just been swayed by Roshan. And right there, there's no exception in this game, it seems. Now it's only 4K. Again, the team fight is much stronger on MidOrFeed. Tomato is getting very, very scary. Didn't get the stun onto Lone Druid because he BKB'd, but Lone Druid unfortunately very slow in the melee form. Walked right next to, I think it was the Disruptor, and just got trucked. I mean, cleaved down. So definitely wants to be in the range form. Obviously, he was in melee form as he was taking Roche, but there is a charge here onto the Disruptor. Lone Druid's behind. The dudes pop the Nimbus, so it might hit a creep instead. It may keep him alive for just a little bit longer, and they will get the kill onto each other. So kind of an even exchange there, although they did use the Nimbus. I think they got the Nimbus gold as well, which does give a hefty bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely nice. And the Aegis and Cheese did go to the Zeus as well, to reiterate that.
Yeah. So how's that here? And again, definitely a great reset here, of course. So it makes sense. I mean, obviously you could argue why not give the Aegis to the Sven, I guess, but
Full items.
What's that? Oh, yeah, that's a good point, actually. It's like, what does he want to change, so...
I mean, he could put his Mask of Madness down and then use Aegis, but I think he needs all his items.
Yeah.
Oh, Sprout here coming on a Cinder, and he does have a TP out if he wants to, if he does it fast enough. And he might try for it. Maybe TP right now. He's just going to walk away. Sven's coming. Oh, he's baiting. Yep. He is debating. Sven uses all his items. Not his items, sorry, his abilities. Along with the Nimbus Cloud and gets an easy kill. So, debated as Cinder and walks away totally fine. An ultimate comes out from Zeus to scout out the enemy because they know what's up. And things are looking better here for MidOrFeed.
Tomato doing his darnest to carry, and it is working out beautifully here. Man, I still look back at this Mirana, 13-0-8. He is having a hell of a game, especially when it comes to that stat line. He is going to be charged up here, though. Maybe I just spoke too soon. Oh, my God. He's dead. All right.
That's where you want that Lincoln's Breaky over the BKB. Now, BKB is still strong against all the magic damage, but it's so easy to get picked off from a charge at this stage in the game now. And with that last kill, we're looking at a totally even game in terms of net worth.
Yeah.
And again, we're looking at an even game in net worth, and at the same time, we're looking at a team in MidOrFeed that have way stronger team fight abilities. You're looking at Global, Venomancer ulti with Veil, Axe double ulti with Zeus, with the ult and the Nimbus, a super farm Sven, Spirit Breaker to scout out and give vision and just movement speed.
Yeah.
Just so much stronger team fight, and now now you need to start looking at some like split push plays from Team Effect because they cannot take team fights against MidOrFeed.
Yeah, it goes back to the lineup. I mean, as far as just the tri-core that they have, they all got really good farm as we kept stressing throughout, but clearly that idea of their team fight lacking is more and more noticeable as the game picks up. So 100% agree. It does feel like they're going to need to rely on that split push, but how do you do that when you constantly have a Spirit Breaker looking to charge you, and when you have a Zeus ready with the ultimate and the Nimbus on top of that, the dive bombs from Venomancer to assist. So it's a very difficult task. It's seeming like it's becoming more and more of one, at least for Effect, and it really is just another game of one team having a lead of almost 10,000 they had at a point, and now it's going in favor of MidOrFeed, about 12,000 gold swing there when you look at it. And the AC's now just about finished on Sven as well to go with everything else. So you got to think MidOrFeed is just about ready to start trying to siege the base here soon at this point. I mean, they still have the Aegis. Not going to be on him much longer. But to be fair, it's on the Zeus. So again, are you really like with the Zeus or with the Sven? He can still just jump in the front lines and.
Oh, charge coming in on the King R. They do have Global. They want to fight this. He runs away. Nope. With the Lothar's pick up onto Weehaw, he can kind of charge without showing up vision. An ultimate on the Mag. Very fast BKB though. I have to say, nice arrow does hit. An ultimate from Keizu onto like 4 heroes right there. Here we go.
Keizu, though, he is going to drop after. Kind of doing his job, though. You see the Lightning Bolt Nuke as well, finishing off the Rubik. Disruptor also gets picked off. He got the Static Storm down, but he's fall. So a 2-for-1 fight in favor of the dire side right here. All the cores do stay alive, though, for Effect. And Mirana, who's feeling that burn of the Venomancer, makes it back to the fountain and will survive indeed. So, yeah, kind of an unsure whether they wanted to take it fight or not. As you mentioned, the great BKB reaction by Nature's Prophet definitely saves his life most likely. But the 2-for-1, and Sven will go back to farming. And again, he has an AC finish now, even without the Aegis. So this is what I was getting at with the point there. Do you think that MidOrFeed can still look to push tier 3, or should they wait for another Aegis here, you feel like?
Probably. Did it expire or did they lose it?
They just, it expired here in the last fight.
They probably wait for another Aegis. Yeah, they definitely probably wait for another Aegis. It's kind of hard. It's always hard pushing into a Furion. He can split, although he hasn't been doing much splitting this game as a result of just the Spirit Breaker pick. I mean, Spirit Breaker is a very, very good pick against the Nature's Prophet. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. Furion's kind of just sitting in the base. Mirana has lots of items, and Rubik can always steal the Plague Wards, which we've seen this entire game, which can help him defend as well. So you gotta be careful as you. Oh, there is a Weehaw right next to these heroes as he charges away with that Lothar's going away.
Yeah, you got to be careful that not to overdo it. And if anything, it sounds like they're not in the rush. That they're that team that's they've been swinging the momentum here. They're in the lead now. Why rush to try to finish this game? This Sven's only just going to continually get better.
Now, Lone Druid is going for the Scotty, and I'm 100% on board. It's a very, very good item against Sven, and he really, really needs it. And although he's quite tanky himself right now, Sven doesn't care. Sven is still just doing so much damage to him, so he needs to just be a little bit more tanky, and he needs that ability to slow him through BKB. So once he has that, there's going to be a new level of teamfight here for Effect. But, yeah, we'll see. He's still quite a ways from that, and he wants to save for buyback as well.
Sven did get the 65 damage, of course, so just starting to look at these 25 talents coming out here. As that's going to be of impact. I'm sure Murata, we've had this discussion already, but the multi-shot Sacred Arrows we'll probably see in this case. You have Lone Druid. What does he get? The Savage Roar cooldown and the Entangle duration. That could be interesting.
Probably. I mean, in general, the Savage Roar cooldown is just much better because, especially when you go ranged form, you don't have many items on your bear, and the likelihood of it getting a Entangle proc with no attack speed is pretty bad. So he's probably going to go Savage Roar cooldown. Now, the Entangle duration is nice against a hero like Sven, but for the reasons I just outlined, your bear is not hitting fast at all.
Yeah. So. No, that's what I was thinking for the Sven, if anything, but you are right. No, that makes a lot of sense. Without the farm on the bear. By the way, this is a very fast Roshan spawn. It's going to be up just in a second here. And they were just scouting it. They did not see it, though, yet. But if they check now, they could try to go back for it. Instead, they're going to go for the top lane. That's a dive bomb coming out from Venomancer. Jumps out the Disruptor. He got his combo down in response. The Nimbus Cloud on top, but it's only the bear that's really there from the other side, so it will be a 1-for-1 so far, favoring Effect. But in the back lines, the jump on a Rubik, and might as well be a one-shot right there from Tomato Lone Druid. He gets his BKB up, but will it matter? Probably not. The Savage Roar saving the day initially. The Arcane's Curse, though, will finish the job from Cinderin, who now has 12 stolen intelligence in this game. But yeah, they're going to backtrack to Roshan. They know it's up now. It's going to be a nice follow-up to that 3-for-1 fight at the top lane. And after this, I'm sure they're going to look to start to break the base finally, as we're talking about.
Yeah, and there's so much farm on this Lone Druid, but he feels so ineffective in these fights.
Yeah.
I mean, right there, he popped everything. He has all his spells ready, and he pops the BKB and he attacks, but it just doesn't seem like he's doing much. And right there, unfortunately, he tried to use his bear Savage Roar to throw them away at first, but the bear actually got silenced, so he was in an awkward spot as a result. So, yeah, I think that's the main issue here with Effect, other than the fact that they lost a huge Roshan fight. Not this one, but the last one, which really skewed the game for them. But this Lone Druid just seems like he's not able to do much in fights, despite having a very good start and having tons of farm. So maybe that Scotty is the ticket back into this game here for Effect, because they're lacking team fight. They have no way to fight this Sven. His BKB is you know what? Never mind. I thought maybe he cast BKB more, but he's only used it once this game. It's a 9-second BKB, so trying to look for a silver lining here for Effect. I'm not finding one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the first time he used it was that last fight right there. Yeah, so it's still 9 seconds, and he gets the Aegis, by the way. He's sitting with the MKB and Blink Dagger right now in his backpack, which is just silly to me. But I guess he has to make room for that. Now he swaps back in the Blink to put the bots in there. Bottom lane, by the way, Disruptor. He's charged up. The Glimmer Cape's definitely not saving him here. And he's dead for a minute. So they do not have a Static Storm to help defend the base. Bottom lane, they catch F09, and now he's in trouble too. He is not getting away. Linkets gets bought, but he's dead. At least he has a buyback. But a great fight with that Nimbus there. Onto the Murata.
Such a strong ability, man. I love Zeus. I'm so happy they picked this hero.
He had a rough start too, but boy, is he still having high impact.
That's Zeus, man. He usually always has a bad laning stage, and this game wasn't even that bad initially. It was actually beating out the Mirana on CS, and that's one of the things I was thinking about is, okay, well, they pretty much know it's a Mirana mid. Yes, he got ganked a bit by the Furion, but that's just the nature of Zeus, man. You usually always have a bad start. The hero is not about how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah. Gets to the win, that's what really matters in the end. The tier 3 tower, Tomato may die right here. Again, he almost just wants to get the Aegis just so he can swap in that MKB. He's like, all right, kill me. There you go. Okay. Well, they got tier 3. There's the buyback on Murata. He's going to jump right away. Oh, I thought Tomato was going. No, he decides not to. They do pop the Lincolns on Murata, though. Tomato, his Blink Dagger is ready here. Well, it gets deactivated now. King R jumps in, actually. That was a Poison Nova from King R right there, who stole it from earlier. But now Oh, yeah, he comes back in. Actually, there pops the cheese. The Nimbus goes down. The cleave's coming out from Sven. Drops the Lone Druid immediately. He buys back pretty quickly. Now Tomato, got to be careful not to overextend right here. Puts a stun on Mirana, who's getting low for a dieback. Dieback indeed. 113 seconds and staying there right now. Tomato even goes back in. The Hurricane Pike will push him back. They got the objectives. They probably would be a good time to now get out if you're MidOrFeed. You've already gotten plenty out of this. Maybe transition it to the middle lane, if anything. Looks like that's where they're headed for now, but Tomato is a little bit lower on life. You got to be careful here, not to give up a kill.
He is very low, actually. There's a chance of maybe getting to kill King R, taking some damage from that Nimbus. It's the sheer damage from Zeus at this point. Does get that extra, or actually gets the cast range talent. He's able to cast all his spells from very, very long range with that plus the Aether Lens. So you're looking at, wow, what, 420? Blaze it.
Heyo.
Extra cast range. Pretty nice.
That is pretty nice, actually. Jeez, I didn't even notice that with the level 25 talent there. But, yeah, Sven, you could tell Tomato was very, just didn't really care about dying, especially that first. You also see the charge speed, by the way, from Spirit Breaker there.
Oh,
Jesus.
You know, we were talking the other day about the best level 25 talents, and I have to switch my decision. I forget which one I said was the best. What, do you remember which it was?
The
it was
3
like
times health? Plague Words, or?
Oh, yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
So, but I have to switch it. I have to switch it to Spirit Breakers. That charge speed is so game-changing. That doesn't really matter this game. It's just kind of like luxury, but because they're already, you know, they're up by 25k. But, man, it is such a good talent. And they have both of them. They have that and the Veno in this game, so they got it all.
Their level 25s are pretty good to go. And, okay, well, we die elsewhere while we're talking about that. But you know what? The base is dying in favor of MidOrFeed, and that's truly what matters. They get both of the racks. Sven will blink out before and may even retreat to eventually wait things out for even another Roshan or perhaps some more hero picks. As Sadoy, he is spotted at least over here. Dealing with an illusion this whole time, and he finally kills it, but Tomato, if you can find him. Oh, he manages to dodge the arrow. Arrow does hit Keizu in the back lines. Oh, there's a jump, though, Sadoy. He does not get stunned, however. He popped the BKB. Trying to force Sven into them. Goes for the God Strength to stun. Nice destroy from Alpha9 with the Manta Style, though. Oh, the one hit, though. Took him down that much alive. That was 1,800 plus crit right there, but now Sven has to be careful. Once again, he's dead here. That burn, if anything, is going to kill him. And the urn on top of that. So, yeah, Sven's dead for 100 seconds right now, by the way. Buyback on Disruptor. Wee's going deep. He's going to end up falling here. Keizu, plenty of spread damage with that Poison Nova active. He goes down too. And Zeus will at least finish the Rubik for the time being. Cancel going back in, finishes off Disruptor. He's trying to pick off all the weak targets now from that poison that came out. Sadoy almost dying to him. Limps away though, but in the back lines, Nature's Prophet ports in. The silence is up. He's going to go for the TP and will be successful. And yes, he'll stay alive as Rubik actually does die. Oh, that was Mag there dying. And then they kill Silencer.
And then Cinder gets a freebie right there with some extra int. Speaking of his int, what's he up to? He's actually only got 14 extra int this game.
Yeah.
Not that much at all. But yeah, a bit of an awkward fight there from MidOrFeed. Tomato just he used his spells and jumped in, but he was kind of slow with his stun, and then I think it was the Lone Druid, but I could be wrong, and they just popped their BKB and then they were fine.
It was.
So it was kind of an awkward initiation there from Tomato, but yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine in the next fight. There is an Octarine core for Zeus, so he has all the items he wants. He denies the DD. And, yeah, jeez, man, that Lightning Bolt mini stun is so strong. The thing about the Nimbus Cloud with that is it's like uncounterable. It's not like you can really pre-BKB it. You never know when they're going to cast it. It just shows up. There's no telegraphing of that ability. It's global. So you can just kind of go through Lincolns with it. You can go through BKB. It's very, very easy way to start the fights.
Yeah. And the fact that he's second in net worth now behind his teammate Sven is just kind of shows you. It goes back to your point earlier about how Zeus is pretty good hero for this reason, if anything, too, that his recovery can be there, and he's done that this game. So Sven, he is buying more items still. I mean, he has a Moon Shard, and I don't know what he's going to replace with a freaking Butterfly here. I mean, I guess the Echo Saber at this time, but it doesn't feel like he actually needs more, though, to be fair. But he did die last fight, I guess, so maybe he wants an item that'll help him sustain a little bit longer. But there's
right.
the Eye of Scotty. All right, we got it.
Yeah. This Eye of Scotty is really, really huge. Just could maybe turn the tides for this fight if they play it well, or if they're able to kite Tomato yet again. Now, again, that is the problem with Sven as you approach the late stage of the game, especially against a Furion, is his ability to be kited. It's very, very easy. But we'll see if they get the jump onto any of these heroes.
It's going down. There is a jump from Keizu, but the immediate BKB is to leap away, so not the greatest poison over right there. Who's caught in the midst of that? That would be Rubik. The Nimbus Cloud down. They're trying to kill it, but they just don't have enough damage right now to stand near it, and actually Rubik will go down. He's dead for 75. With no buyback, so they've already got one. Target cancels going. He's just distracting the whole team. Here comes a charge with Spirit Breaker at massive speed. He gets pushed away by the Hurricane Pike. The Static Storm on top of Zeus. He pops the Yulzo. Gets even a Glimmer Cape assistance, and he'll be fine. Cinnamon is dead, but oh, so is Disruptor on the other side as Tomato chooses him as the target to kill. Nimbus Cloud again put down. You see caught on Sonoe right there. They also take out Mag, and that'll do it. No buybacks to be had. GG, well played. MidOrFeed will take game number 1 here. This best of 3. Nice comeback from them.
Yeah, very, very nicely played. They had, if you look at this, yes, there was a botched team fight in Roche, but I think that was as a result of just they drafted a much better team that worked well together with their heroes. A lot of the heroes on Team Effect, yeah, they had great farm. I mean, King R had very good farm on the Rubik. They were able to take towers early on with this Nature's Prophet and Lone Druid, but the heroes just don't work well together, unfortunately, if you just look at them. You look at the team fight of MidOrFeed, you got Venomancer ulti, Zeus ulti. Again, even though Zeus, if he has a bad start, he can still be a big threat in these team fights for that global ultimate. And that's what we saw. Tomato had great farm and really initiated when he needed to. I was happy to see him start these team fights early on without the blink, because he recognized, okay, we're losing quite badly in the early game. I need to get active with my good farm. And that's what he did, and I was really happy to see that. Yeah. A couple of questionable silencer ultis early on, but he had them when he needed them in the crucial points of the game, and that's what really brought them back, was really that one team fight, man, at Roche. That's like every single game now. We've seen the game swayed immensely by a Roshan fight.
This is no exemption from that. Yeah, no, we had the one series a couple of days ago with a big RP that came out from a Magnus that completely turned the tide of that game in the series, and that Roshan, he has a tendency to do that. If you're ahead, if you're doing Roshan, it's almost a little bit of a risk. Obviously, there's good reason to do it, but you better be careful if you are going to be doing it. Another example of why so. But again, MidOrFeed taking the first game here over Effect. We'll see how they shape up looking in game number 2. If Effect can force that third game or not. But we are going to take a short break. Before we do, once again, guys, type !SkinCoin in chat for the giveaway information that's currently going on, as well as you go to SkinCoin.org. Check out the latest cryptocurrency in the esports market. You can trade in for your favorite Dota 2 and even CSGO skins as well. Again, that's SkinCoin.org. Guys, I'm BreakyCPK, joined by TraLFDota. Game number 2 coming up next.